Easy methods of adjusting or defending a trade. What happens when a good trade goes bad? Every time I think of something that says, well, remember The Far Side, the cartoon The Far Side?
Yeah, sure.
Well, in my head, it's always lived in my head rent free. The Far Side, when the caption is when mayonnaise goes bad, and a guy's opening his refrigerator and there's a jar of mayonnaise in there, and the mayonnaise guy's got a gun. It's when mayonnaise goes bad, and I just can't get that out of my head. So this is when trades go bad, like a short put goes bad. Let's see what we got here. Easy methods.
Yeah, and Beth, everybody's writing in that you're sucking up to Tom. This is bad.
What do you mean she's sucking up to me?
She's everybody can see it. They can read between the lines.
They can Thanks, everyone.
That's anyway. When the market becomes extremely volatile and your positions get tested, it's good to know what you can do depending on the situation you're in. In this segment, we'll review 3 methods for adjusting a trade, a short put, and the reasoning behind it. Okay, Bat, off the top of your head, a short put goes bad. What are your 3 things you can do?
Roll out to the following month, depending on the amount of time left in the trade. Sell a call to reduce delta by 50%. That would use no extra buying power.
Okay, so you could sell a call.
Sell a call spread if you want it to get smaller. I mean,
you can roll out in time.
Right?
Yeah, what's the third one?
Sell a call spread. That would be my next one. Sell a naked call spread. Roll the put.
That's 2.
Yeah, I don't have a third.
Okay. Well,
I mean, unless you're going to go somewhere else and sell, short delta.
No. I think the third thing, just off the top of my head, would be buy a put. So you can spread it off.
Not something I do.
Not something I do either. I would sell the call or roll it out in time. Anyway, let's go to the next slide. Let's see what we got here. So this is the Tasty platform. On the platform, adjusting or defending a trade is relatively simple. We begin with a short 40 delta put. So let's dive in. Now you can see here we're just kind of showing we're showing a position short of 40 delta put, and we're showing a little bit of the buying power. On the right hand side of the screen is the buying power, the price, and then you can see the strike there. That's all, and all the Greeks. Let's go to the next slide. So, situation, the buying power available is near 0 because you've used up your capital by shorting the put. So since nearly all the puts are being tested, the buying power of an existing put position goes up and the buying power of the account goes down. That's what we talked about before when volatility goes higher. So you could add a far out of the money put wing, which would reduce the buying power of the trade while maintaining similar exposure. Adding a short call spread can fully finance the put wing. So this is not a bad idea. You could add a short call spread and buy a put with it and totally reduce the amount of buying power that is required to make the trade. You can see here, we kind of outlined the whole thing. Short 40 delta put, add a 10 delta put wing, and short a 20-10 delta call spread, and you basically end up, not having to put very much money in, and you reduce your buying power dramatically from 4,300 to 1,700.
I get it.
Not a bad thing.
No, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
Not bad at all. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Situation number 2. The portfolio delta is too long. You're short a put. So for short puts that are tested and or in the money, their delta has most likely increased a lot. Adding a short call, like Tony said, or a call spread, like Tony said, or rolling down an existing one will flatten out your delta while adding to the net credit of the trade with no increase in buying power reduction. This is typically our go-to move. We're gonna against a put, we're gonna sell a call or call spread. It doesn't require any additional capital, and it will by taking an additional credit, it will reduce. It will give you some additional buying power because you've taken an additional credit.
Yeah, but it's a small amount of buying power, right? I mean,
it's a small amount of buying power. Agreed.
It can actually reduce it too. It could work a small amount against you too. I mean, if you're doing this on a relatively small price stock, like a $30, $40 stock, selling the call might actually use more buying power, but it's de minimis.
Yeah. Let's go to the next slide. So situation number 3, expiration is too soon, but I want to keep my in the money put. So most people may be leaning directionally long, but not just in their portfolio delta, but also their overall assumption. So rolling out the short in the money put out a month or two to give yourself more time is the least evasive way to maintain long exposure, collect credit, and not add to your buying power reduction. That's right. It'll reduce your risk by 25 to 30% is the bottom line. It'll reduce your delta, and it will just give you more time to be right. So this was the other thing that Tony said, and here's a perfect example. Your buying power starts with 43.65, and you roll it out in time, and it goes down by $195, but you also pick up some additional credit. And that's it. Let's go next slide. With markets going lower and vol staying well above its historical average, adjusting existing positions can change your risk of a trade and actually increase the net credit you receive. Increasing the net credit takes down your buying power requirement. Keeping track of BPR usage, credit, debit paid, and net delta effects of the adjustment are the most important metrics to compare when looking to adjust a trade. Our real focus, because right now we're not using all our capital, so our focus is always on delta adjustments. I think that when you get comfortable with delta adjustments, the BPR thing is secondary, but you get very comfortable with that too. The real reason you adjust a trade, though, is for delta adjustments. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right here. And if you want to meet me and the team in person at our next live event, hit the link at the top of the description.